Good day, fellow teachers, their school heads, and to our leader, the Queen of Research in the Bacolod South, Dr. Vivian Carpio. I hope you are all safe and doing well. It's my honor to present and share to you my research this morning. Let me start by showing you these pictures that I took before my research. This was during my home visitation with my learners in Toytoyan Elementary School. And these pictures are outputs after my project intervention. So as you can see, great improvement is evident in the physical aspects of learning spaces. Not only that, but also in the study habits of learners. So how did I came up with that research? Last year, our school as well as yours started to cater modular learning. And with that new trend of education, it is an enormous challenge for us educators to introduce and implement that kind of learning to our learners. Because there's such a great difference with the learner's environment in the actual classroom setting than studying at home without proper learning setting and absence of teacher. And it was observed during my home visitation with my learners that one of the problems was the absence of designated study area at home. It was noticed that some learners were uncomfortable while studying their modules. Some were busy with other things rather than studying. Those scenarios touched my heart and opened my mind to think of ways in helping them. I came up with the idea of providing them their own learning spaces at home. Then, I looked for studies that prove the importance of home learning spaces. That's why I investigated the status of learners' study area and study habit at home. That was my basis for the intervention project, Sulok Aralan Handa sa Tahanan. So I entitled my project or my research as Status of Learners' Study Area at Home, Basis for Sulok Aralan Handa sa Tahanan project. So for the research questions, the main purpose of this study is to improve the status of learners' study area and study habit at home after the project intervention. Specifically, it also sought to answer the following questions. Number 1, how may the status of learners' study area at home be described in terms of space, lighting, availability of table and chair, availability of learning materials, availability of reading materials, and environment. Number 2, how may the efficiency of learners' study habits be described during pre-survey and post-survey? Number 3, is there a significant difference on the status of learners' study area and efficiency of their study habits before and after the intervention? Okay, so this is now the conceptual paradigm of the study. So these are the elements of the study area at home. So the concept is, if parents are able to provide study area following the said elements, learners will build good study habit even this new normal that they are just staying at home for study. So the hypothesis, there is no significant difference on the status of learners' study area and efficiency of their study habits before and after the intervention. And this study used applied research, particularly a descriptive research with comparative research for the study of its significant differences. And for the respondents, this study was composed of 53 learners and 53 parents, considering that there are 53 households sending elementary children in our barangay. For the sampling method, I applied total enumeration to 53 parents in 53 households sending learners in the school. So in selecting learner respondent, purposive sampling was applied since I selected only one learner respondent every household. So for the instrument, the main instrument of this study is the researcher-made survey questionnaire. So it was composed of 2 parts. Part 1 was for the parents that focused in describing the status of learners' study area, and Part 2 was for the learners describing their study habit during this modular distance learning. So before the data collection, I sent letter to our school head and of course to our division head seeking permission to conduct research with the learners. And after being permitted, letter request to Barangay Captain and Municipal Health Office for conducting survey to learners and parents following minimum health standard were followed. Since the study was conducted during the COVID-19 pandemic, I ensured the IATF protocols where the minimum health standards and minimal physical contact were observed, as well as keeping of responses with maximum confidentiality had practiced. Now, for the data analysis, to answer question number 1, first, mean and standard deviation were used to describe the self-assessment of parents on learners' study area at home. Then, the following scale was used to describe the status of their study area. Not developed, developing, developed, and fully developed. To answer research question 2, first, mean and standard deviation were also used to describe the self-assessment of learners' study habits. Then, the following scale was used to describe how efficient their study habits were. Not efficient, nearly efficient, efficient, and highly efficient. To answer research question 3, a series of Wilcoxon sign rank tests was conducted to determine if significant mean differences between the pre- and post-survey ratings existed on the learner's study area and their study habits. So after determining that there was a need to develop the status and efficiency of learners' study area, I have implemented the Sulok Aralan Handa sa Tahanan project. And this is the process of the project. First, we have the orientation about the elements and importance of study area that was conducted to parents. And after the orientation, contest on best sulok aralan was done. Preliminary validation was conducted to all participating households and 10 best sulok aralan was chosen for final validation. And after that, we have the awarding, and all the participating parents were given certificates and material awards that may help in improving their study areas. And of course, there was a follow-up to maintain the usefulness of their sulok aralan. Let's proceed now with the results and discussion of the study. To answer question 1, the overall mean shows that learners' study area at home were just on developing before the project intervention. And after the project intervention, it was described by the participants as developed. So, to answer question number 2, the result shows that learners' study habit at home during pre-survey were just nearly efficient. And after the intervention project, almost all the statements were described by the participants as efficient and even highly efficient. And to answer question number 3 on the significant differences from pre to post-survey, it revealed that the intervention elicited statistically significant changes in the survey ratings. The results suggested that after utilizing the intervention, status of sulok aralan sa tahanan had improved. And the result also suggested that after utilizing the intervention, learners' study habit had improved and became more efficient. Based from the findings, the following conclusions were derived. First, learners' study area at home were just on the status of developing before the project intervention. Data imply that parents lack knowledge or ideas on constructing a study area at home. Likewise, they do not have materials or resources that may be used in developing their study areas. However, the project intervention was a great aid in improving the status of learners' study area at home. The result describes that the sulok aralan as developed after the project intervention. Number 2, efficiency of learners' study habit at home before the project intervention were just on nearly efficient. The new normal brought big difference in learning's practice since learners were not in the formal classroom setting where there is teacher, availability of reading materials, and learning staff. The project intervention was a useful assistance in improving the learner's study habit to efficient in the post-survey. Number 3, there was a significant difference on the status of learner's study area and efficiency of learner's study habit before and after the intervention. Learner's study area had improved from developing to develop, and the learner's nearly efficient study habit became efficient. Utilization of Sulok Aralan sa Tahanan project was a great support in responding the problem met with the learners. Providing only study area for the pupils motivates them to study harder and build good study habit. Now, based from the derived conclusions, the following recommendations were raised. Number 1, parents shall continue to support their children's educational needs, especially this time of pandemic, where they are just staying at home to still feel motivated to learn and boost their mental health. Number 2, parent-teacher association shall continue to find sources to give aid for the materials needed by the learners. Number 3, teachers in the opening of classes should conduct orientation or information dissemination on the elements and importance of the study area at home and shall find sources to assist parents in constructing their own. Number 4, Toytoyan Elementary School shall continue the utilization of Sulok Aralan sa Tahanan project to maintain the improvement of learners' study area or study habit. 5, schools should adopt Sulok Aralan Handa sa Tahanan project and conduct contests to serve as motivation for parents' cooperation in the said project. 6, school administrators may consider procurement of learners' materials for learners' study areas at home in the school plans. And lastly, District of Dipakulaw should implement this project in the whole district to extend awareness on the importance of Sulok Aralan to learners' study habit in this time of pandemic. That's end my presentation and I hope you've learned something from it. If you want to have the copy of my research, just message me po and I will send it to you. So good luck, fellow researchers, in our research outputs. I know we can do it, not only for our professional growth, but also for the benefits of our learners. We have here the best mentors in the Dipakulaw South District, of course, Ma'am Vivian and the team, Sir Eliari, our district statistician. I know they will assist us to came up with our best outputs. So good luck everyone, God bless and keep safe po.